Welcome back. If you have tried building a coloring book series with AI, you have likely hit a major technical wall, keeping your character looking exactly the same from page 1 to page 10. This failure is called stochastic drift. Standard diffusion models do not have a persistent memory of your protagonist's facial bone structure or the specific stitching on their clothing. If you prompt a standard AI model 40 times for a scene featuring the same Victorian fox detective, you end up with 40 different foxes. When your detective changes his coat and hat on every single page, narrative immersion breaks. It marks the book as an amateur production. To build a viable commercial series, we abandon standard prompting for a deterministic workflow using the Gemini Storybook feature and specialized style tokens. Step 1 is opening the Gemini Advanced interface. From there, navigate to the specialized application layer and select the Storybook gem. This tool operates differently than a standard chat window. The Storybook layer is engineered specifically to simulate a visual memory for your protagonist, carrying their identity across a sequential narrative. We lock the character using a master narrative prompt. Create a visual storybook about a Victorian fox detective named Inspector Fernwhistle solving a mystery in the town of Whiskerville. Keep the character design consistent. Once that baseline is established, you prompt for the next distinct narrative action, like examining a clue with a magnifying glass or interviewing a suspect. When the model generates that second scene, it references your initial character sheet. The coat, hat, and facial structure remain identical, even though the lighting and action change. This centralized reference ensures your protagonist's features remain identical across every scene, creating the visual continuity needed for a professional series. Now that we have a consistent character concept, we have to clear a second technical hurdle, converting these concepts into physical, KDP-compliant print files. Default models automatically inject shading, shadows, and gradients. We call this the grayscale mess. Look at this comparison. On the left, heavy patterns and gray artifacts. On the right, clean, pure white backgrounds with distinct line art. Those gray artifacts make the physical page difficult for a young child or a senior to color. To strip out those unwanted elements and override the model's artistic bias, we use a specific text structure called the golden prompt. This formula divides your instructions into 3 distinct engineering variables. First, the subject, next, the style, and finally, the tokens. Producing functional assets requires shifting from descriptive creative writing to explicit technical modifier commands. Step 3. Take your consistent character concept and move into your final line art generation tool. We use Canva Magic Media. In the subject block of your prompt, insert the specific character details, like a fox detective in a trench coat. Then, append your exact style tokens. You must explicitly demand vector style, no shading, and black and white only. The vector style command is critical. It forces the AI to produce sharp, continuous outlines rather than muddy or pixelated sketches. Execute the prompt. The resulting image consists solely of black lines on a pure white background, meeting all physical printing requirements for Amazon KDP. Adhering strictly to this syntax guarantees KDP acceptance, and it completely saves hours of manual cleanup in post-processing. Here is the final output of the workflow, a cohesive interior spread for our Inspector Fernwhistle coloring book. Look at the details. The character is identical across every panel, and there is 0 gray shading in any of the lines. This process relies on communicating formatting constraints, telling the AI exactly what the lines must look like, rather than just describing a concept. This storybook-to-token pipeline turns inconsistent AI generation into a repeatable manufacturing process. Now that your assets are locked, we are ready to assemble the final manuscript in the next module.